Today we are going to be making something new to me and new to maybe some of you. We're going to be making our own homemade clay. So for this recipe, there's a couple different ways you can make it, and I'm going to show you a slide with the ingredients listed, but I wanted you to see what ratios are. And I will tell you to use 1 cup of flour and 1/2 cup of salt and 1/2 cup of water. You can double that, you can lower that, you can do whatever you want with it. So get your ingredients ready. You need flour, you need salt, you need water, and we'll come back. I'm gonna be making half of the recipe listed because I'm just one person and I don't really need that much clay. So I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of flour and 1/4 cup of salt. And then I don't really know how much water this is gonna take, so it calls for 1/4 cup of water, but I'm gonna pour it in pretty slowly until I see what consistency the clay becomes. And I should have mentioned this before, but if you wanna color your clay, you can also add some food coloring into the bowl, or some paint even, I think. But I'm also gonna show you how to bake it and paint it later, so you don't have to color it at this point. So we're just mixing the clay together. See, it's getting little clumpies, so that means we'll probably need a little bit more of our water. And we're just gonna keep on mixing. So as you can see, it's starting to really become a clay. We're gonna start using our hands a little bit. So I should have said this earlier too. Roll up your sleeves and also remove all of your jewelry. You can see like I'm not wearing my ring or any of my bracelets. You don't wanna get this clay in there. One really good thing about this art project is you are doing it in your kitchen, but all of these ingredients are safe to consume. So if you drop some on the floor or you're using your favorite mixing bowl that you also use to make cake in, everything's safe to consume. So you see I'm getting like a ball here. It's really coming together. So we're gonna keep kneading that for maybe about a minute or two, and then we'll put it on our surface. So when I was done mixing it in my bowl, I was able to make this nice ball shape. And now I'm bringing this over to a work surface. Maybe you have a mat you like to work on. However you normally make like bread products is good for this. And I took some cookie cutters because I'm not really a builder with clay. Like I've said to you guys before, I'm not an artist. I actually found this project online and it seemed really cool. And I really like the dough in my hand, I have to be honest. And we're just gonna roll it out. So we're gonna use our cookie cutter shapes. You are more than welcome to build whatever you want with this. If you don't have cookie cutters, you just wanna make this circle and paint it, great, go for it. You wanna cut things out, that's awesome too. I'm gonna make 4 different things for you today and show you the different ways you can use this clay. So first I'm gonna do a heart. As you can see, I've cut out my cookie cutter heart and I'm gonna put it on my baking sheet. We're gonna bake the clay when we're done with it. I believe there's also a way to air dry the clay, but the majority of the recipes I found call for baking it at about 300 degrees for a ½ hour or so. If you want to air dry your clay, totally fine. Let me know how that works out for you. I haven't tried that method. I'm also gonna make a dog bone just because I love my dog and it's one of my favorite cookie cutter shapes. So as you can see, as I'm cutting them out, I'm then placing them on my baking sheet just so they stay out of our way. Now I'm also gonna show you how to make a little mushroom. I found this one online and I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty doable if any of you wanna do that. So you're gonna take a little piece of your clay and you're gonna roll it into a ball and then poke a little hole in the center. You can kind of see you wanna round the top out. That's gonna be your mushroom top. Then you're gonna take another little piece of clay and roll it into like a chunky stem. And we don't need more water for this, but we're just gonna dip it into our water bowl to get a teeny tiny bit on the tip. And then we're gonna insert that into our hole and just kind of make it more rounded out. So that's a little mushroom. Now what you can do, you might still have some clay left, you might be out of clay, depends on what you've made. I just wanted to see what would happen if we baked a flat disc. So I just rolled it into a ball and I'm flattening it out. Now we're gonna put this tray in the oven on 300 degrees for about 30 minutes. Like I said before, if you would prefer to air dry this clay or bake it at a lower temperature for a longer time, experiment with it. We're home, we've got the time, let's see what else we can do. So I'm gonna put this in, and when it's all done, we'll paint it together. After your clay is nice and dry, whether you baked it or had it air dry, you can take some paints and we're gonna paint them. I don't have the biggest selection of paints in my house, so I'm just gonna show you some basic coloring. For example, we'll paint my heart pink, and you can see it's really taking the color on nicely. You know, you can do designs on this, you can write on them, but you just wanna kind of cover it in paint. Whatever colors you choose, whatever shapes you've done, this just gives you another way to express yourselves. And I also read there's a way you can do it with markers, so I'll show you that in a second as well. But as you can see, I made a pink heart. And now I'm going to write my dog's name on the dog cookie in a marker, just to see how this works out. And as most of you know, my dog's name is Ben, and he is very cute. And I think this marker works out pretty well too. So if you only have markers, you can go ahead and use that. If you have paint, you can go ahead and use that. I'm gonna paint so this one's gonna be trickier because this one does not lay down flat, the mushroom. If you made the mushroom, watch closely. You wanna hold it by the stem and you're gonna paint the top first. I have orange, so I'm gonna do orange. And I think my dog fans out there are gonna be mad at me, but the only other color I have is blue. So I will go on record right now to say I am a dog through and through. I just didn't have red or black paint. So you're lay that back down, and when that dries, we'll start painting it with the blue. So now that it's all nice and dry, I've painted my stem blue. I also went ahead and added some little dots around the top of the mushroom to give it more of a textured feel. Make sure you go over those more than once just to bring the color out on top of the base layer. And now you've got your colorful painted clay. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed making some art with me today. We did a couple different fun things. It's about being creative and expressing yourselves. Let me see what you make at home, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.